Okay, good morning everyone. Today we have a special privilege to invite Professor and Dr. Thomas Weakley. And we have been a good friend for more than 5 years. He often come to Japan. Since his daughter is a very famous actor, I think he's going to talk about that, on NHK, and also right now she's teaching English on the NHK radio conversation, as well. And his expertise is a sort of global leadership and worldview study. And he's been teaching at Western Kentucky University in Kentucky for many years. And so today, we have a special privilege to invite him, and then you're going to listen to his wonderful lecture. Okay. Mainly, he's going to focus on global leadership. Since you're studying in law, and more or less, I think you're going to be a global leader. So you got to learn what the global leadership is all about. Okay, so welcome to our class. Thank you very much for coming all the way from the United States. Yeah. So let's give him a big hand. All right. Okay, thank you.
It is a privilege to be here with you. I am good friends with Obari Sensei, and we have worked together in many classes the last 3 or 4 years, even throughout the pandemic and with the Zoom classes at different universities. But this is my first time to lecture here at Meiji University, and so I know this is a very wonderful university and you're very wonderful students, so I'm looking forward to being able to interact and to discuss. I will be with you on 3 different times. This week I'll be with you in 2 weeks, and then once again, so I get to give 3 different lectures. And on this, today I will be discussing about personal leadership and purpose in life. Then I'll be introducing global leadership, but I'll be discussing that more on our next time to lecture. Obari Sensei mentioned to me that you've had the privilege to watch a video to a lecture of mine I had done previously. And so you are familiar with a little bit of that content. But today we'll be talking about personal leadership and purpose in life. The question you may ask is, well, why did you come to Japan for the first time? I came here the summer of 2017 for the first time. And the reason was because of my daughter, Hannah Grace. Hannah Grace is my second child. I have 3 children. She is my second daughter and my second child. She came here 10 years ago, right after the tsunami, with the vision of being an actress. She studied acting and drama and music and singing at the university in the United States. Started watching anime as a young girl in the university, and this is her picture there. And how many of you have watched Attack on Titan? Are you familiar with Attack on Titan? The final episode or the final season, there is a song that is called Memory Lane. Have you heard that song Memory Lane on Attack on Titan? That is my daughter. She sings that song on Attack on Titan, the song Memory Lane. She's also in Fate Grand Order. She sings in this episode, and she sings in this song in Japanese. The song in Fate Grand Order, Attack on Titan, she sings in English. But she is very famous. She's also been on TV shows. Hanako Ta'an, your mother or father may have watched Hanako Ta'an. It is Asadora drama. She plays Scott Sensei in Hanako Ta'an. So we came to Japan to see my daughter, to be able to interact with her and to live with her. She lives in Tokyo, her and her husband, and so we come and we stay with her while we're here in Tokyo. But since I'm a professor at the university in Kentucky, I wanted to find out if we could lecture. So I met Obari Sensei, and he invited me to lecture at Tokyo Tech, and then he invited me to lecture as a visiting scholar at Yamagaiten University as well. I want today talk about leadership, and I want to talk about the impact of leadership in a person's life and how important leadership is. I have 3 pictures that you're looking at, and these are the 3 people that had the greatest impact in my life when I was a young high school and college age individual. The person on the left is my family. I'm the little boy there with the red bow tie. That is me when I'm about 5 or 6 years old. My father and my mother and my sisters are in this picture. This picture was taken in 1964, something about that time. My first leaders in my life was my family, my father and my mother. They helped me to understand life and helped me to decide what direction, what was good and what was bad, my morals, my education, my truthfulness, my integrity. My father used to say that if you are doing a job, it is worth doing well. So you work hard, and he was a very, very hard worker. That was until he became an alcoholic and became lost his job because of alcoholism, and it really hurt his life. The person to the right, me and the man with the tie, he was the man I learned about. He was my minister. He was my pastor. But his son was my best friend. And I would spend many, many hours in his home. And he taught me how to think about more than just the physical, but also to think about the spiritual aspects of life. That life is very important, not just on the things that we touch and see and feel, but there is something beyond that. There's physical, the metaphysical, the spiritual aspect of life. And he helped me to understand those concepts. And the man there in the center was a judge. This is a school of law, or a faculty of law. He was a federal judge, very, very high in America. He was friends with the President of the United States, Lyndon Johnson. His name is Federal Judge James Fleming Gordon. He taught me the importance of an education. He asked me, he said, make sure you go to college. We will help you learn in college. He helped me to process and to study. He taught me a lot about law and about truth. Is there truth? You are studying that here at the School of Law. What is true? What is not true? What is right? What is wrong? What does the law say? And this federal judge had that impact in my life as I interacted with him, even about aspects of law. Those are 3 men that impacted my life. My father, the man Howard Matthews, and the judge James Fleming Gordon. I have a question for you. I want you to discuss, just as we process, who has been the most significant leader in your life? And what leadership characteristics did you learn from them? I want you to talk to the person beside you, and if there's 3 of you, you can turn. You can do 3 or 4 people or just 2 people. But I want you to discuss amongst yourselves who are the most significant leaders in your life, and what characteristics about leadership did you learn? And I will give you 3 to 5 minutes to discuss that, and then we'll talk about that.
No Japanese, okay? Yeah, have a discussion here among 4, 3, 2, or whatever, just try to discuss in English. Maybe hope you have
class goes till
10:40.
10:40, okay. And we'll have sessions like this of discussion. And so, but if you need me to end at a certain time before, be sure to.
Maybe about 10:30. We can interact with the student. Who impacted you most? Your parents, your friends, your teachers?
Take one more minute, and then I will ask you to give me some feedback. Okay, I want to ask you, how many of you would you say that your parents was one of the most significant leaders? Hold up your hand. Okay, your parents. Okay, all right. How about professors or teachers? A teacher. Another 5 or 10 or so. How about a coach? Maybe a soccer coach or, okay, interesting. How about another friend? Okay, a friend. Who else are leaders in your life? Anybody besides these? Maybe your brother or sister? Anyone else that you thought of? Well, okay, tell me this. What did you learn from them? What is the characteristic of leadership that you heard? Anyone, please, someone tell me, give me a few words. Yes, hi.
I think great leader change other people's life and action.
I didn't hear it. A little bit louder.
I think a great leader can change other people's action and life.
They change other people, their life and actions. Yes, that is exactly right. They change your life. Wonderful. Anyone else like to say that? Well, that's what we're going to talk about. Leadership. Thank you for answering. Leadership is everywhere. And we are always influenced by the aspects of leadership. I want to give you some definitions of leadership. One book I read said that leadership is influence. It's the ability of one person to influence others. One man can lead others only to the extent that he can influence them or that she can influence them. Another person wrote, leadership occurs anytime one attempts to influence the behavior of an individual or group, regardless of the reason. It's like you just said, there's an aspect of changing your life. Leaders can change your life. The context of my textbook that I use in America, Northhouse says, leadership is a process whereby an individual influences a group of individuals to achieve a common goal. So it's not just one person, but a group of people that go in a direction and they are changed. My definition of leadership is here. It says, accepting a calling upon your life as you live a life of personal character, influencing others toward a worthy goal. And each of these definitions, the word influence comes out. So one of the most important definitions of leadership is a leader, if it's your parents, or a teacher, or coaches, or a friend, or somebody else, they influence you to go in a direction. They influence your life to help you to think differently, to act differently. And as the young man said, they help to change your life. Now, I use the word calling. Let me explain what that word means. It's a definition by Os Guinness. He says, calling is the sense that one is motivated either personally or by another or perhaps God so decisively that everything they are, everything they do, and everything they have is invested with a special devotion, dynamism, and direction lived out as a response to a summons in their life. People, when they have a calling, they understand that, yes, I am supposed to be a teacher. My daughter, when she came to Japan, she had a call, she had a special commitment in her heart. I will be an actress in Japan. I will be a singer in Japan. It's very, very significant and very, very important for her in their life. That's why in my definition, it says a person accepts a calling upon their life. A calling of, will you be a leader? Will you have an influence on someone else as you live a life of personal character, influencing others toward a worthy goal? Now, every leader has 3 relationships. Every leader has 3 relationships that they have to think about. I'll put this on the board as well. Now we'll do it like this. Here is the leader, or maybe she's a female. They are going in a direction with a purpose or direction. And the very first person that they lead is others. That is the first relationship of every leader. They end up leading someone. Other people follow them. You have been influenced by your parents or a teacher, by coaches, or by a friend. I was influenced by the judge, or my minister, Howard Matthews, or my father. And so it's the person, this is the leader. They're moving in a direction, and others are following them, in that he or she is influencing their life. The second relationship every leader has is themselves, a leader and self. For you to be an effective leader, you have to lead yourself. You have to be able to be disciplined. You have to be able to do the things that you need to do personally. Some of the greatest leaders of history led others, but they did not know how to lead themselves. And that's where they failed. They did not accomplish their task because of a lack of integrity or a lack of the ability to control their anger or control their emotions. And so what happens is a leader has to lead themselves. But there is one more relationship of a leader, and that is a leader and their mentor. It's their leader. Who is the person that is impacting their life? It's the person that continues to help them to learn, to grow. An example for me is Obari Sensei. After we met here 4 or 5 years ago, he has been my mentor when it comes to learning to teach in Japan. and teaching in his classes. He has helped me understand the culture. He has helped me understand how to be a more effective leader, even here in Japan, whenever I travel. He has become a mentor for me, a person I look up to as an educator, as a friend, and as a mentor. Everyone, it goes like this as well, everyone needs a mentor. Everyone has a leader and needs a leader in their life. Now I have this on the screen a second. You can see I just put up stick drawings there on your screen, very, very similar to this. So you can kind of see how the purpose, the objective, the leader and self, and then the leader and their mentor moving in a direction. The three relationships of every leader. Now, most people, when they think of leadership, they only think about this. They only think about the leader and others. They do not realize that the leader has to lead themselves, and that a leader needs another person helping them or leading them in their life as well. And so what this diagram helps us to see, this Venn diagram, is that when you have those three relationships that relate first to your calling, what you do, why you do what you do, your cause, what you will do, and your character, who you are, and they all come together, that helps that person have a very specific and very helpful and very intensity of their leadership abilities. And so that relates also to your calling. Again, this other diagram just kind of puts those, the leader and self, the leader and others, the leader and their mentor or God, the why, the who, and the what. But I want to ask you to discuss this question, because the question is, discuss with your neighbor in your group, what are the top 4 characteristics that you look for in your leader? Meaning, when you think about the person that is going to lead you, what are the characteristics of that person? What are adjectives that describe them? Words that describe their ability to lead. Why would you want them to be your leader? So turn in your groups once again and discuss that question. What are the top 4 characteristics? And after I finish, I want someone in your group to tell me at least 2 of those characteristics. And so be prepared to answer back, what are the 2 characteristics that you discuss that you can agree upon? So discuss there in your group.
What do you do over here? So you turn around and four, okay, just a 4. Turn around and then discuss. You know, the Professor Weakley, could you show us the 4 characteristics, not on this page, but before? Which one should we take a look at? You mean the 4 characteristics?
Oh yes, I will. The ones that I'm going to talk about
Later.
Later, I will, yes,
Okay,
I will do so. Yes.
Yeah, you have to discuss what
You
think
I
are
want
the
to-
most important characteristics, as a leader. Okay, just feel free to discuss. What do you think about the most important characteristics? He's very honest, or he has a strong leadership, he has a strong will, whatever it is. What do you think would be the very important characteristics as a leader? We should discuss it. Speak in English. Doesn't matter, yeah. Okay, have a discussion. First, talk to your partner, yeah. That's okay. Talk to your partner anyway, first. Good leaders. Are you still doing that? Well, maybe you think that's okay. What do you think would be a good characteristics? Think other people, think about other people. Yeah. Maybe look for the interest of others, right? Rather than looking for your own interest. Good leader could be concerned about other people's interests. Honesty and highly motivated to do something good. You have to be a good person. You have to have a good whatever.
Are you thinking of something?
What do you expect to be able to be? Principle, very right. Good principle.
Thinking of something?
Good teacher, okay? Yeah. Or you can talk about good leaders. Great leaders.
To think of something. So you are familiar with the attack on talk?
What about
Have you been thinking of something? Have some characteristics? Who did you say was your leader?
Good leader, right? Prime Minister, President of major university.
Yes. Think about the process of those things. Good. And listen to others. You know, but leaders need
Other people should be first. That's it.
Take one more minute, and then I will get your feedback.
That's a good discussion here.
Yes, they seem to be.
They're thinking about its president of this university. Speak in English, okay?
Okay, give me some feedback. What are some of those characteristics that you thought were important for a leader to have? I know this group here, they said they said to me that a leader is a person that listens to their followers or listens to other people. So that is important, that they listen to others.
Yeah, could you stand up and somebody just speak up? Yeah, in this case.
Yeah. So, how about your group? What did we'll give you one? Okay. Yes, hi. Yes. Give me two. Yes. Two. Yeah, give me two of those.
Can be attentive.
The attentive.
Attentive.
Okay. All right.
And
listen.
Okay.
And listener as well.
Only in English. Okay.
Okay. So he said that they were attentive and that they were listening. So they're attentive to other people and the circumstances around them. And that what else did you say? What were the other two things you said?
Calling.
Courage?
Calling.
Call that they have a calling to
Calling.
lead. Okay.
Kindness.
And kindness, yes, kindness.
Good.
Those are
Very
good.
good,
Those
yeah.
are good. I'll write some of them. You said kindness, kind, a calling. Again, listen. And that was attentive. You said attentive.
Attentive means pay more attention to other people.
Yes, they, so good. Excellent. This group here, what did y'all say?
Let's go on to.
Two characteristics. So the one thing is if the world changed, like now the world changes so quickly, but the leader should change his mind, the flexibility.
Okay, so there's flexibility
Yes.
because the world is changing, especially with technology.
Okay.
That there's flexibility. That the
Excuse
leader
me,
can
could
be
you listen,
flexible.
okay? Don't talk. Yeah.
Okay, good, excellent.
And the second one is the confidence.
Confidence.
Yes.
Okay, that they have confidence. I'll write those on the board as well. That they are flexible. The world, she said, the world is changing so rapidly that you have to adjust. COVID-19 is a great example. The pandemic changed everything. And so leaders had to adjust to that they're flexible. And what was the other, my mind?
Confidence.
Pardon? Confidence, yes, that they have confidence. That they have, that's what you said, correct? They had confidence to be a leader. Excellent, okay? How about this group here? Can someone tell me what you said listen. What were two others that you talked about in your group?
I speak in English only, okay? Okay, over there. Over there.
All right. Yes, that group there be fine, and then y'all can tell me in a second. But two characteristics. Listening. Okay.
Everyone's opinion.
Okay, so everyone's opinion is they listen to all, and then okay, good. So they're listening to all. Okay, this group here. What were some other characteristics? Good job.
Yeah. Overlapping is okay. If you have chosen the same kind of word, that's okay.
Yeah.
But anyway, speak up. Yeah.
Have a lot of friends.
Okay, they have friends. Okay, you know it's interesting. My mentor used to say, if you call yourself a leader and no one is following, you are just taking a walk. So a leader has to have friends. They have to have people that are following them. And if you have friends, it helps your leadership. So friends, that's good. Give me one more in your group.
Nice face.
A nice face. Okay, I'll put that up there.
Nice looking guy.
See,
That's
they
good.
have,
Very
now,
good.
why is that important? They have looks and friends. Let me ask you, why does a person's face, or why does a person look, how does that influence leadership? Now, everything is technology. Often, in America, one of the reasons why John F. Kennedy was a president in America, and he beat Richard Nixon. This was in the 60s. It was the first presidential campaign that was televised on TV. And John F. Kennedy was young, he was attractive, he was tall, he was strong, and he looked good on TV. The other man was nervous, he was not confident, and he did not like the TV. And many people said that he won the election because he looked good on TV. That's not necessarily the best characteristic, but it is important. And we all look good. You all look wonderful, so that that characterizes okay there. Did y'all think of another thing? This group here? Anything else besides listening?
Okay, say it.
The
Yeah.
power to convince. The power of convincing to others.
The power of committing to others?
Convincing. Convincing.
Convincing. Oh, yes. Okay. The ability to convince
Persuasive. Yeah, good.
others. It goes back to the word influence. Can a leader convince you to do something? If he or she cannot convince you, cannot influence you, then you will not follow them. They have to be able to help you say, yes, I want to follow you. And so being convincing is very, very important.
That's good.
This side over here, give me two characteristics.
Yeah, okay.
Ability to listen to everyone's thinking and to understand them.
Okay, to not only to listen to what everyone's saying, but to understand them. That is very, very important. That not only do I hear what you are saying, but can I understand you? Now, our masks are hard to understand sometimes, but now it's that, do I hear what you are saying, but do I understand your heart? Do I understand your needs? That's why many people in America in leadership, they do not trust some leaders because they are so rich, they do not understand the common people. They do not. They have never gone to a grocery store or a 7-Eleven, and they do not understand that there are people that they are leading. And so, understanding your followers is very important. So, listening and understanding. Good. Good. This group.
Being without study.
Excuse me.
Being without study.
Being a good study.
Intelligence.
Yes. Okay. And then one more.
I want to be loved person.
Well, to be a.
Be loved person.
Okay, to be a better person. Okay, yes, all right, yeah. I think that goes back to the leader himself. Leaders always have to grow. You never come to the point that you know everything. And so you have to become a better person as well. And you have to grow and you have to be able to adapt those things. This group.
The two people say leader need to have a strong power.
Strong power.
But I don't think so. I don't think a strong leadership is not necessary in leaders. I think leaders should be familiar by other people in group.
Okay, and so some people think a leader needs to be powerful, but sometimes power, there is a phrase by a great leader, power corrupts, absolute power corrupts absolutely. Meaning some people, when they have too much power, they take advantage of others. But you need to be powerful. But what was the second one that you said that you thought?
I think leaders should be familiar by other people, and he said leaders should kind to others.
Be kindness to others and caring to others. Yes, and so
More friendly, no?
yes,
More friendly,
yes, that's good. Thank you. This group in the back.
Yeah.
What did y'all have? What was y'all's points?
Wide field of view.
Speak louder. Could you?
louder?
Wide field of view.
That they what?
Wide field of
That they're wise in their ability to lead and in their content. Okay, I think you said okay. And one more.
coolness.
Courage.
Coolness.
Courage. I think I did.
What did you say? Courage?
Coolness. Coolness.
Oh, coolness. Should be cool, cool.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah,
Okay. Good. I asked that question about leadership because all of us have. We all have a image. We all have a perspective. We all have, you know, these characteristics: courage, kindness, the ability, power, the ability to understand, all of those things that we have talked about. I want to give you, actually, 2 days ago, I was thinking about this lecturing to you, and I thought through what are there are 4 characteristics that I do not believe that you actually said these words, but I want to give you an example and talk about that. I believe what leadership does in a very real sense it helps a person go from being dead, to life. Let me explain. 2 years ago, my phone broke and it went completely dead. It would not come on, it would not, no screen, I charged it up, everything. It was completely black. The screen was dark. I took it to a technician, an Apple technician. He looked at it. He said, "Your phone is dead. Throw it away, buy a new phone." I thought, no, this has lots of pictures. This has lots of contacts on it. I took it to another technician. He said, "Yes, your phone is dead." He said, "But we can start it over, but you will lose all of your information." Then I took it to the best person in my town. I called a friend and I said, "Who is the best technician for phones in all of Bowling Green, Kentucky?" He said, "Go to this man." I took my phone to him. I said, "My phone is dead." He said, "I can fix it." And I said, "You can?" I said, "I've had 2 people tell me it is dead and cannot come back to life." And he said, "No, I can fix it." And I left it with him. I paid him $100 and it was perfect. And he gave it back to me. My car broke. My car broke down. It was dead. It did not run. I called my mechanic and I said, "My car has broken down." And he said, "Okay, bring it. I will have it towed to my house or his shop." He brought it back to life. See, a leader, and I believe that's what leaders do. Leaders take something or someone who does not have a purpose, they do not have a direction, they are just kind of here, and they need to go here. And they say, "I will give you life." So let me explain what I believe life is. On your screen there, it has L-I-F-E. This is the first time I've lectured with this statement. Those are the 4 things. First of all is a leader has to lead by example. We want people that are our leaders. We want the people that we're looking to, and this person here, to be a person that leads by example. He does not say, or she does not say, "You go and do this, and I will stay here in the air condition." No, they are an example. They do not say, "You go fight the war, and I will eat something, I'll eat some sushi and talk to you later." They lead by example. Example of kindness, an example of listening, example of confidence, an example of being flexible. Because you want a person that is your leader to say, "Yes, I want to be like him. I want to be like her." You are first year students, correct? There are probably sophomore and junior and senior students that you're looking up to that are examples to you. My question for you is, who are you an example for? are you leading with as an example to others? The second thing is the leader needs to inspire others to a vision or a goal or a purpose. When my phone was dead, my friend said, I can fix it. I will inspire you to, yes, we can fix your phone. And leadership is always going in a direction. And so a leader is a person in your life that says, yes, you can do this. Yes, you're able to accomplish this. My picture I showed of that federal judge, he inspired me for education. My original plan in college, in high school, was I was going to go directly into the military, or I was only going to be a farmer. And he said to me, no, you are smart enough to be in college. We want you to go to college. And so he inspired me to go in a direction there of college. Number three is from fear to faith. And I believe that is one of the things that people need the most in Japan, in the United States, and around the world is we are very fearful. Yesterday I had a very fearful day. My son texted me or called me from America, from the U.S. They were driving on vacation, and then their son, my 1-year-old grandson, got very sick. And so they stopped. Actually, they were driving very, very fast and trying to get to the location, and they were pulled over by the policeman because they were speeding. And he said, I'm going to the hospital because my son is very ill. And so the policeman did not give him a ticket, enabled him to get to the hospital, actually showed him where the hospital was, and took him to the emergency room. And he called us in fear. Our son, he has a fever. He is not very alert. They started examining him. It was a very small town in Alabama that they were at. And then he called back and he said they are bringing an ambulance. They are taking him 4 hours away to a children's hospital by ambulance. And he was in tears. He was very fearful. And I was too, was fearful. They got to the hospital yesterday, and then they gave him treatment. They gave him antibiotics. He had an infection in his lungs. He did not have COVID. He did not have a serious illness. They put him in the hospital for 24 hours. And as I drove here today, took the train, I got a message from my son with a smile on his face saying, we are no longer afraid. The doctor was the leader, and they was afraid their son might die, but the doctor inspired them and said, no, we know what is wrong. We can help your son. And their son, they went from fear to faith. Our culture, our world is fearful. We're afraid of COVID. We all wear our mask. We're afraid of failure. We're afraid of making mistakes in our life. But what a leader does, he or she says, you can do it. You can have courage. You can have trust. And I can help you to go from here to there. And they turn their fear into faith in life. So a leader helps a person overcome their fear. Being afraid is normal, but we need to have courage to overcome those fears, and that's what a leader does. They give courage. And the last one is just that. They encourage the heart. See, not only do they say, do this and go here and go here, but they affect your heart because they're kind, or they're compassionate, or they're gracious. And they listen to you, and they think, what does she want to do? Or what helps her heart? How can I encourage them? Not only by their words, and also by their action, they encourage you in life. The most important leaders that I have had have been leaders who have done these things. They have given me life. They have been examples. They have inspired me to what is a new goal or vision or purpose. They have helped me to overcome fear and give me faith. Give me faith, trust in life, courage, and then they also encourage my heart. Now, I want to explain this for who my leader is. I said when we began it in the very beginning that every person has three relationships of leader. A leader in others, leader in self, and a leader in their mentor. I also had on the picture God. And for me, the most important leader in my life is God through the person of Jesus. And what He has done for me, He has done these things. He leads by example. He was loving. He was gracious. He was compassionate. He was caring. And He still is. He loved me so much that it says that He died on the cross for me and for everyone. He inspired others. He had followers that followed. One of His followers said this, and it related to this word. It says that perfect love casts out fear. Because fear involves punishment. And so this follower, his name was John, said, you know, that Jesus even led in such a way that He took away my fear and gave me faith. And then, of course, He encourages my heart. God does through Jesus Christ. And so what that has helped me to do is, in my relationship with God through Christ, that I am able to overcome fear with faith. I'm able to be an encouragement to others because of Jesus taking care of my life, forgiving me of my sin, and helping me to forgive others as well. And I would encourage you to think about that while you're in college as well. But all leaders, I believe, give life. And they give life by leading by example, inspiring others, having fear over faith, faith over fear, and encouraging the heart. Okay? Now I want to do one more thing before I ask some more questions, and that is this next slide talks about the leader and self. See, we've talked about what this person here needs to be like, or what are the characteristics of a leader, but what does it need to look like for you? What are the things that are necessary for you to lead yourself? Now, I'll erase this part here. I've got three words that I think are very, very important for you as you lead your own life. First one is desire, then drive, and then discipline. You can ask yourself the question, why do some people accomplish more as leaders than other people? Why are some athletes like Michael Jordan or LeBron James or other athletes, why are they more successful, or those who play in the Olympics? You had the Olympics here last year, 2 years ago. Why are they more successful than others? I believe these three things are very, very important. First of all, they have to have a desire. It relates to over here, it relates to your calling. Do you want to lead? And what is your desire? What do you want to take place in your life? What a leader cannot do, your leader cannot give you a desire. You have to have it internally. What do you want? You want. What is your desire? Secondly is your drive. How bad or how much do you want it? Do you have the drive, or are you thinking, I don't think so? My daughter, I mentioned Hannah Grace, when she came to Japan, she was here helping with the tsunami relief 10 years ago. And we get a phone call from her, from the States. And 1 week before she decided to come back, I was supposed to get on the plane, she called us and said, Otto-san, I am not coming home. I will see you in 6 months at Christmas. Send me some warm clothes. I'm staying in Japan. I want to stay here, and I will do all I can. And she started working all the time just to learn so she could stay in Japan. She had a very strong personal drive to stay in Japan and be an actress in Japan. And her drive enabled her to reach her desire. But the second thing is the discipline. What will it take? For her, she had to get up very early to go to work. She had to study Japanese all the time so she could understand it, so she could sing and she could talk and she could communicate. She had to be disciplined in her life to be able to lead herself so that in turn she could be an effective leader in life. And so the question for you and for me, when I lead myself, is, do I have those three things? Desire, drive, and discipline. Now I want you to get in your groups again. I want you to I want you to think about your own life and which one of these is the easiest for you. Meaning, which one of these is natural or is easy, but then which one of these, desire, drive, and discipline, is the hardest? Okay, so just discuss amongst yourselves which one is easy and which one is hard. Okay? So have a conversation just for 2 or 3 minutes on that.
Could you repeat the question again? You know?
Okay. Yeah, I did not have it written down here.
Yeah.
Think about these three things, and in your life personally, which one is easy for you, or which one, yes, I have desire, or yes, I have the drive, or I have discipline. But then which is the one that is the weakest? That I need more drive, or I need more desire, or I need more.
But what are we supposed to do, you know, to think about these things?
Just to share which one they thought. Which one? Yes.
Okay. Just simply.
Yes, try to discuss.
Yeah. You got that?
You got it?
Three important things. Which one do you think would be easier or most difficult? Okay. Whatever you do.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Let's have a discussion. Yeah.
Okay.
Don't look at the other person's Maybe discuss. Here we go. entire chair. Discuss. Discipline will be like a generally speaking. Easy, yeah.
Which is easy, which one is hard? Another way you could see it is strength.
Speak in English, please. Maybe motivation. This motivation. Drive, desire, running force. You know the discipline is the sort of in Japanese a kunnen, right? Discipline.
What is the word?
Kunnen.
Okay.
Kunne in Japanese. Yeah, that's a typical word for them.
Okay, that makes sense.
Drive is a sort of a motivation.
Yes. Right.
Desire, yeah. Maybe the discipline is most difficult.
Yeah. I think so. It's to do what's necessary for them.
Drive is a sort of a motivation. If you have a desire, I think you want to do this or you want to do that, right? But you have to have a desire first. Not the after one. That's your desire. And then how do we this? How do we do something? Sorry.
Yes, hi.
You can ask
Discipline, yes. And again, that deals with your actions. It's a person who is disciplined has they need to get up at 6, they get up at 6. If they get up at 7, they're not disciplined. You know, when the alarm goes off, the disciplined person stands up. The undisciplined person says, no, I disciplined person does their assignments. Undisciplined person says, no, I will not do that. And so they want to do their assignments, but do they have the willingness to do what it takes? Like a disciplined person eats healthy. Undisciplined person eats chocolate or eats crackle chips. Does that make sense? In case the difference, that's a good question.
I speak in English, please. Yeah.
One more minute and then we will discuss.
You have to like more. That's not enough.
Okay, let me talk some more about this,
Okay,
and then I'll get your feedback. To explain a little bit more, your desire deals with your passion and your heart. It's that interest, I want to do this, okay? Your drive is your motivation. It is how motivated are you to accomplish your desire. Your discipline involves actions. They asked the question, if a person is disciplined, when their alarm goes off and their alarm says 7 o'clock, they get up. If they wait till 7:15 or 7:30, they're not disciplined because they have, or it's some, if you need to eat healthy, you eat the right food. Or you need to get your assignment done for class, a disciplined person does the assignment on time. And so it's your actions that show these two things both, okay? So let me ask you a question. Which one says this, which is easier and which is the hardest? How many say desire is easy, the easiest? Okay? Okay. Meaning, yeah, we all have a heart, don't we? We all, yes, I want to be an actress, or I want to be a professor, or I want to be an athlete, or I want to be a college graduate. We have a desire. How many say that drive is easy? And you drive easy? Okay, fine, good. Yes, some people have more drive that, yes, I have the willingness to do. How about discipline? Is it easy? For some? Anybody here say yes, discipline is easy? Which is the hardest? Is it this hardest or discipline the hardest? Who says discipline is the hardest to do? So, okay, all right, to be disciplined, okay. How many, who says that drive is the hardest? Okay, yes. And, see, the reason I say that is if you're going to lead yourself, you need all three. A leader can help you do that. A leader can encourage, because a leader encourages your heart. Sometimes they will help you from going from fear to say, yes, you can do this, to faith, and they can inspire you and they can be an example. But you have to lead yourself. It is up to you to make your decision in life of what kind of leader you want to be, or if you want to be a leader. Okay? The next thing I want to talk about, and it's in your notes, is every leader knows their purpose. It relates to up here. Your leader can inspire others toward a purpose, but the important thing is, if you were in my class in Kentucky, the very first assignment that I give my students, all of my students, if they are first-year students or if they are PhD students, they all have to turn in the second day of class and they have to answer the question, my purpose is, and they fill in the blank. My purpose in life. Why am I here? Let me tell you a story that will help you in the midst of this. This is me outside of my home. I lived in this home when I was in high school and in college. 6 years ago, actually, 6 years ago, I had a heart attack and I almost died. The doctor, I was exercising when I had my heart attack. I could not catch my breath. And all of a sudden, I thought something is wrong. My wife drove me to the hospital. We got to the hospital and the doctor said, you are having a heart attack. So they laid me, and I did not feel any pain, but I felt like something is wrong in my life. And so they laid me on the table, and the doctor said, he was my leader. I was very afraid. I was very fearful. I'm going to die. And I really thought, I think I'm going to die. And the doctor put his hand on me, and he said, do not be afraid. I will take care of you. And he became my leader. We rushed into surgery, or into the catheterization lab, and they went through into my heart, and they stuck a stent about this long, a piece of titanium steel with a little straw into my heart. And after the pain was so severe, it was unbearable. The pain medication had not started yet. And so I'm experiencing, and I asked the doctor, when will this pain stop? And he said, it will stop when I finish. I have 2 minutes to go. And in 2 minutes, he was through. He had fixed my heart. And he asked me, how do you feel? And I said, I feel fine. And then he said, sir, I just saved your life. Remember, a leader goes being dead to life. And my leader said to me, a doctor, I just saved your life. You had 5 minutes to live. That caused me to just start asking myself again, what is my purpose in life? Am I fulfilling my purpose? 2 weeks later, I went back to the home that I was raised in. These pictures that you see are the home. That home was built in the 1800s. You can see it is falling down. That is the back of the house. I don't live there now, of course. This room was very important because that was my bedroom. I did not have a bedroom. I did not sleep in a bed until I was 14 years old. I slept in the living room in front of the TV set because my family was very, very poor. We moved to this house. The house was larger, and I had a bedroom, but we had no heat in my house. At night, in the winter, when I would take a glass of water, I would set my glass down beside my bed, and when I woke up, it would be ice. It would be frozen. We had no running water in our house, and I would bring jugs of water into our home every night so we would have something to drink. Very, very poor. So when I went off to college, my focus was these things. I will get an education. I will make a lot of money. I will buy a lot of things, and I will be happy. That was my purpose. Education, money, things, and to be happy. But I realized when I was in college, my sophomore year in college, I started to realize that life is more important than money. Life is more important than things. Life is more important than just being happy. There is a statement by this man is Pascal said, there is a God-shaped vacuum in the heart of every person, and it can never be filled by anything created thing. It can only be filled by God, made known through Jesus Christ. This is the full statement. It says, what else does this craving and this helplessness proclaim, but that there was once in man a true happiness, of which all that now remains is an empty print and a trace. This is he tries in vain to fill with everything around him, seeking things that are there, that are not there, the help he cannot find in those that are, though none can help, since this infinite abyss can be filled only with the infinite and mutable object, in other words, by God himself. That's by Louis Pascal, the great mathematician, physicist. He understands that life is more important than just things, and realize that his purpose is. So my question for you to think about while you're in college is, or even in this class, is what is my purpose in life? Why am I here? What needs to take place in my life? My purpose is that everyone who is called by my name I have created for my glory, whom I have formed. My purpose is to be pleasing to my mentor, and that is my relationship with God. Let me give you 5 things that knowing your purpose does for you. Whatever your purpose may be, 5 things that if you know your purpose will help you. First of all, knowing your purpose gives meaning to your life. Knowing your purpose gives meaning to your life. It tells you why you get up in the morning. Is it just to be happy? Is it just to go to school? Your purpose says, this is why I am getting up. It gives you meaning in your life. Secondly, knowing your purpose simplifies your life. It tells you what you do and what you do not do. It tells you what you say yes to and what you say no to. It's like college. While you're in college, what do you have to do? You have to decide what your major will be. And that means you will take some classes, but you will not take other classes. That's because you have a purpose to graduate. Number 3 is knowing your purpose focuses your life. Now the difference in simplifying and focusing is it's like a laser beam. Like this little pointer here is a laser. And what is a laser? A laser is focused light. And so when you know your purpose, it helps to focus your life. It says, yes, I want to do this, and no, I don't want to do this. So it provides a focus for you. Number 4, knowing your purpose provides motivation for your life. It provides the drive. It also helps you with the desire, because this is what I want to do, but it provides the drive, the motivation in life. And the last thing that knowing your purpose does, according to Rick Warren, is helps to prepare you for eternity. Because I believe that each person is made for eternity. And when you know your purpose, as God, the Creator, wants to know you personally, it helps to provide for eternity for you. I asked that question to my students 15 years ago. And one of my students handed back his assignment. And so this is what he said. Again, the question was, what is your purpose in life? And this is what, his name is not Bob, but I will call him Bob. This is what Bob said about my purpose. This is, my purpose in life is that there is no real purpose for me. And he says, like all animals, we are just here for a while and then we are gone. Why are we here, you ask? Just because may be the answer. We really do not have any purpose in life. They will exist, and in their own time, they may find their purpose. Then he says this, life is like playing Russian roulette. Russian roulette is the game, you have a gun and you only have 5, 6 bullets, but only 1 bullet in there. He said, life is like playing Russian roulette, but just with all the chambers being full. Then he says, I live my life with knowing that my purpose in life may never be shown to me. Until then, I will just be confused. He was a freshman in college. And Bob basically was started to think, I do not have a purpose. I do not have a meaning in life. And so the reason I ask my students to answer this question is, what is my purpose? Is to help them to think that life is more important than just things and money and even education and to be happy. But our purpose is understood in a relationship with God. Ralph Waldo Emerson says this, the purpose of life is not to be happy, It is to be useful, to be honorable, to be compassionate, to have it make some difference that I lived here and that I lived well. Purpose in life. Now, I am not your professor, Obari Sensei is, but I would like to encourage you this semester to get your journal or to get your computer and to answer the question, my purpose in life is, and to think about that. And sometimes it may be that you may say, I don't know. I do not know why I am here. And if that's true, you need to say, well, what are my desires? What are my interests? Do I have drive for that? And what kind of discipline will it take? What are the actions that are going to take for me to fulfill that purpose? I want to show you a couple more pictures here, and then we will be done. This diagram puts life into a category. Let me see here how I'll do this. And it gives you an order to think about leading yourself. The first thing you have to think about is, my purpose is. Okay? And after your purpose come your values. Your values are the things that are true to you. It's like love or kindness, faith or hope or friends or maybe your family. They're things that are very, very important to you. What do you value in life? After your values and your purpose, then become your goals. In my freshman and sophomore classes, I asked my students to write goals in 4 areas. I call them past goals, goals physically. Basically, physically, what kind of goal do you have? You know, to grow, to lose weight, or to eat healthy, or to exercise. Physical goals. Academic, meaning that what kind of a GPA or what kind of a understanding or how well do you want to go in school in each of your classes? What are your academic goals? And physically, I usually have them write down 2. Academic, I usually have them write down 2. Then social goals, those are getting to know people. It's interesting, people are very, since COVID, during the pandemic, everybody stayed home. They all stayed and they did not go out. Now people want to get out. And so social goals are who I want to become my friends and what will I do to engage in their life. And then lastly is a spiritual goal. I believe the most important part of our life is that we are spiritual people. You know, cows do not think about eternity. Dogs do not think about what happens when they die. Cats do not wonder what takes place when I die. But humans, people, think about, well, is this all there is to life? And so I encourage students to think about spiritual goals as well. To think, what do I need to learn? Maybe I need to learn about my faith, or maybe I need to learn about another faith. Or I need to learn about maybe Christianity or Shinto, or learn about, talk to someone else in those areas. And so you have physical goals, academic goals, social, and then spiritual. And the last thing is there is a plan. Again, your desire and your drive is the first part, but the plan relates to your discipline. What will you do to make sure that you can accomplish the goals and the purposes that you have in your life? Now, one thing about, I have it on your screen there now, the physical, physical, the academic, the social, and the spiritual. Now, the next time we talk, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about our purpose, values, goals, and plan as it relates to global leadership. You, as a student in the Faculty of Law, will be a leader in the world, both not only in Japan, but other places as well. And we will discuss what you need to do to lead yourself as a global leader. Now, you have maybe watched the video already. I will say some of those same things, but we will discuss some of the key things that you need to understand to be a good global leader. A leader while you're in college, and then a leader if you go someplace else. How many of you want to leave Japan and go someplace else and study or travel to another country and to see what the world has to offer? Let me see your hand. If you'd like to go, okay? Yeah. Well, if you want to do that, and especially be a leader in a different culture, there's things that you can learn that will help you as you lead yourself to be a more effective leader in a global society. Our society, the world is very, very small, and everybody knows what's happening all around the world. And so as you and I become global leaders, we can become more effective. As I close, I want you to remember the 3 relationships of every leader. Every leader has to manage their relationship with others, their relationship with themselves, and their relationship with their mentor or their leader. And that you need to look for a leader that will give you life. He or she will lead by example. They will inspire you. They will help you overcome fear. And they will encourage your heart. Thank you for your time, Obara Sensei. I will turn it over to you.
Thank you very much. Okay, that's a lovely lecture. We have been very much inspired.